I arrived in Zurich on a night that smelled like rain and memory. Not fear anymore, just the echo of it. I had no plan, no home, just a suitcase, a cracked phone, and a photograph of my little sister, smiling before the world burned. The station lights flickered on wet glass. People moved with certainty, like they belonged. And I was still learning how to breathe again. I told myself this wasn't an escape. It was a beginning, a quiet one. The next morning, I stood before a building made of glass and silence. Helvetic Capital Bank. A volunteer from the church had written a name for me in blue ink, Lucas Reinhardt. He was looking for an assistant, or maybe I was the one looking for something human. Inside, everything smelled like coffee and control. The receptionist barely looked up. "You're here for the interview?" I nodded. "Top floor, Mr. Reinhardt will see you now." The elevator moved quietly, each floor heavier than the one before. When the doors opened, his world appeared. Glass, silence, power. He stood by the window, calm, precise, unreadable. "You're not from here," he said, his voice smooth, steady, deliberate, the kind that doesn't try too hard. "No," I whispered, "I'm from Ukraine." "And why Zurich?" "Because nowhere else felt safe." He studied me for a long time, then simply said, "Start tomorrow." No smile, no handshake, just that. And for the first time in months, I felt seen. Finally, that night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about him, that quiet confidence, that unspoken grief beneath it. I didn't know it yet, but my life had already begun to orbit his. The first week was brutal. Everyone moved fast, spoke perfect German, never smiled. I kept my head down, typed, carried coffee, tried to disappear. But Lucas noticed everything. The way my hands trembled when I handled confidential files, the way I froze when sirens passed outside. He never asked why. He just noticed. And somehow that silence felt like kindness. One evening, I stayed late. The office was empty. Only the city breathing outside the windows. Then his voice, soft, close. "You're still here." "I'm almost done," I said. "You don't have to impress me." "I'm not," I whispered. "I just don't feel ready to go home." He studied me for a moment, then said quietly, "You remind me of someone I couldn't protect." I didn't answer. Sometimes silence is enough. The next morning, everything changed. Headlines everywhere. Helvetic Capital, under investigation for fraud and corruption. Reporters outside, whispers in hallways, and Lucas looked like a man fighting a war no one could see. That night, I brought him papers. He was by the window, holding a photograph, a woman with a child. "She was my sister," he said softly. "She trusted someone she shouldn't have." His voice broke just slightly. "I'm sorry," I whispered. He nodded, and for a heartbeat, the wall between us disappeared. A few days later, in the elevator, a stranger, dark suit, cold smile. "You're new," he said. "Yes." "Tell Mr. Reinhardt that Bruckner sends his regards." That name froze me. I'd seen it before, on a locked folder in Lucas's desk. When I told him later, his face changed, cold, careful. "If anyone asks you about me or about Bruckner, come straight to me. no one else. He didn't explain, and I didn't ask, because I already knew. Some truths are meant to sleep. That night, I took the tram home. The city lights moved across the river like broken glass. I stopped on a bridge and told myself I was safe. Then his voice again, behind me. You shouldn't walk alone this late. I turned. He was there, coat open, rain in his hair. You followed me. No, he said softly. I found you. You're being followed, Oksana. Come with me. I hesitated. Why should I trust you? Because you already do, he said. You did. The moment you walked into my office. And somehow, he was right. We drove through the sleeping city. Streetlights blurred into gold ribbons. Neither of us spoke. The silence felt safe. He stopped in front of a house by the lake. Old stone, quiet, hidden. Where are we? I asked. Somewhere the city forgets, he said. He made tea. Slow, precise, like someone holding the world together with small rituals. Why are you helping me? He looked down because once I didn't. And I've been paying for it ever since. When I finished my tea, he handed me a blanket. You can stay here tonight. It's safer. I don't want to cause trouble. You already have, he said quietly. But somehow, I don't mind. His words stayed in the air, warm, dangerous, real. And for the first time in a long time, I didn't feel like a refugee. I felt found. That night, I couldn't sleep. The world outside was still. Then, a car engine idling below. He noticed it too. Turned off the lights, looked through the curtain. They found us, he said. No panic, just that same steady calm. He turned to me, voice low. Tomorrow, everything changes. And that's how it began. The night I stopped running from my past and stepped straight into his. I didn't know it then, but love was already waiting for me inside the storm. And that's all for tonight. Close your eyes now. Breathe slowly. Let the city fade and the rain fall somewhere far away. This was Oksana's night and yours. Sleep well and rest easy. Good night.